businesses because we fund each other in whatever way. Banks 3%. And the World Bank report in 2016 was clear about it. Before the single window, so it would be difficult to still allude it to single window, mob up and everything.
So the difficulty even started before that.
If I could comment, as an entrepreneur, I shouldn't sometimes defend banks, but I have to defend them in this case, right? Because part of it, I agree with his point of view. The only area I have issue is, he said something earlier, cost. Now, to any bank, there's cost of funds. Let's take out infrastructure and all that. Now, cost of fund means I buy money, I sell money. So I'm going to try and layman it because not everybody is technical. At least 3 of us are very technical here. Now, I buy money, I sell money. The same way I buy goods, I sell goods. So I want to buy goods and I want to sell at a profit. I buy something for 10 naira, I want to sell it for 12 naira, make a margin. So 2 naira is my spread. Now, for any bank, they're buying money when you deposit money with them. They're buying money when they do treasury bills and deposit money. So that's buying money. So I have to compare how much I can buy money. Now, the prevailing comparison today, one is your MRR rate, which is your interest rate benchmark. Then secondly, your yield rate for treasury bills. That's majority compared now to even the treasury bills than even the MRR. They ignore the MRR now. So, because if I'm you and me and Joe Bloke, I can buy government treasury bills directly through any bank. So I don't even need bank A or bank B. Anybody can help me buy treasury bills. So that is my opportunity cost of funds automatically. So if at the point where at its peak, treasury bills are almost eating 19%, that's cost of fund benchmark automatically. So to anybody that is looking at his money, you can't give me less than 19%. So if I take my money to a bank and I say I want to fix money, the guy will first say, if I go to treasury bills, they'll give me 19%. Now, in actual fact, treasury bill yield of 19% is actually like 21, 22, and I'll explain why quickly. When you go to a government treasury bills, you get your interest front end, which means immediately. Now, a bank doing fixed deposit that wants to pay you back end, you tell him, sorry, 19% at the end of the money is not 19% I collect now. So the present value of that money. Now, if you are collecting deposit at 21, how much do you want to lend it at? You take then the spread of your cost of fund, which means your overhead, then the lending cost. I started with an MD of a bank last year, December. Me and this guy in his office, and we had gone through the technical terms already, and he said, look, George, you are someone that is technical, so I can explain these spreads and issues to you. He said, as I'm sitting, this is 2016 December, I'll never forget, in this man's office, and he said, as I'm speaking today, I think it was even 4th of December, say anybody that walks into my bank and wants to take money at less than 31%, he can go anywhere he wants to take it. I'm not interested. Because if I do risk-free, I'll collect treasury bills, 19, giving me 22%. I don't need to lend to anybody in Nigeria. I'll just go and put all my money in government bonds. And that was the reality. The government bond yield was so high, nobody wanted to borrow your money.
So with this now, how does a small businessman access funds to run his business? How do the SMEs grow?
He said it. In reality, this is Nigeria for you. The majority of lending doesn't happen from the commercial banking sector. Okay. The majority of lending actually happens from business to business.
So what we're saying,
what he said is very true.
The ease of doing business.
We give our distributors credit also.
The government is starting the ease of doing business. The
yes.
government is wanting to build a business environment that the SMEs grow, everybody's growing, there's access to credit.
There's a presidential
and all of
enabling business environment council.
Yeah. Now, let's look at it from the business perspective. The entrepreneur, the small guy who wants to start up a business, doesn't even have 1 million naira, but wants to buy cable, 10 million naira and wants to trade. It is difficult. Now, he might be lucky enough to have 50% of that money. You have to bridge some of the difference, because if you go to the bank, the guy is a new startup. By the time they analyze what he has, sincerely, it's a failure on that. Now, but you see, the problem, some initiatives are there, but they're just not sold massively. Now, a lot of people sitting here would not know that there's actually a BOI initiatives to support distributive market up to 10 or 15 million per business. Now, this has been going on for a year. A lot of people don't even know it exists. And this is one of the simplest loans to collect today.
Is a single.
It is actually 5%. It is that annoying. That finance, that finance is 5%. So my distributor, I can come to BOI as a business and say, okay, my distributors need money. They'll give you a pool of fund up to 50 million, of which you can distribute to your distributors at 5% per annum. It has been there, but a lot of people don't even know. The day we even knew, they were trying to sell it to us to get our distributors together. Now, the way they've done it is they're not wanting to, they don't have the means or, I'll say, capacity to hold so many distributors. To manage it. They've simplified it. We hold the company. So the company guarantees, if you are sure, you're already giving them credit, and you're sure about them, come to us, guarantee this money. We will give your distributors access to these funds. For a period of 1 year, they can renew again and let them take these funds. So even for us as a business, it makes more business sense for me to cash in my money now for my distributors and go and guarantee them if I'm already giving them anyway without any security.
Okay. Yes, if we have information, intending entrepreneurs or even the ones that are operating already, you have the information, but you don't have electricity. You have the money. You have, whether it's at 5% or it's at 31%, and then you still have to deal with all of the infrastructure issues. How do you, stay above the waters?
So I have to be talking on practical, because I'm in that terrible scenario where you keep investing money on those infrastructure. I'll give, for instance, we have over 12,000 kVA in diesel. We've just invested another $6 million in gas power, about 8 megawatts. Now, that doesn't make sense anywhere in the world. Why are you running your factory with such amount of power and investment, which you can put in your factory? And believe me, that money will create another size of my factory similar. Now, but you've just invested all this money in power to generate power for the factories to run. It doesn't make sometimes business sense. Now, but you cannot watch your business die if you thinking that way, or you will never start. Business is a pool of risk. If you don't take any risk, don't complain. Now, you're going to make a certain amount of quantifiable risk when you're doing things like that. Power is a problem, massive problem. I think it's even number one of the problems.
So if we solve that, because we are winding down now, if we solve that, or how can we solve that? Because it's looking like something we can't solve.
Solution to that, I think they finally are doing it. The first solution was decentralizing distribution. We sold the discos. We made one excessive mistake, because when they were selling the discos, the thing they were telling all of us that, look at what happened to mobile phone. It started at a high price. It's very cheap today because competition is there. Now, you don't make a public monopoly, a private monopoly, and expect miracles.
Okay, Mr. Wani, quickly, how do you think?
A lot of things. I know there is this also initiative coming that if you have power to buy, you can buy direct from distributor. Yes. So they are decentralizing distribution and everything. The renewable energies are coming. He is investing, and he can have access, sell to other consumers or sell to distributors. So, but logistics remains a very big issue. I think to wrap up, we will continue to pressurize government and institutions to work and function effectively. The ease of doing business numbers coming from World Bank right now are measurement of effort. They are not measurement of outcome. We need to see outcome. Businesses are still in trouble.
Well, as much as we've had something positive on the ease of doing business, to me, this positivity we will have more benefit to Nigerians. Because psychologically, it's like we're getting there. In as much as it might be superficial, but we are getting there.
All right, thank you very much.
You.
We've been speaking with George Onafokan, MD Coleman Wires, Ayodeji Onibogi, Development Finance Expert, Vincent Nwani, Director Advocacy and Research, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Festus from the UK says, interest rate in the UK is 0.5%. I can access credit from my living room, but we can't even have single-digit interest rate in Nigeria. No wonder our productivity is very low in the country. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Sunrise will be back in a moment. Please don't go away.